Yo, I know what you're here for. Let's get to that sports talk, baby. And me and Vance are back. I told you we coming at you. Second part of the divisional round. It's spicy. It got spicy back and forth games. We was expected to have these games. I think this is the best divisional round I've seen lately. You know what I'm saying? In the past couple of years, these divisional round games have been close and they mattered. Like Vance said, he didn't had a heart attack 3 times when his team played on Saturday. So we gonna start off and get into it. We got the Bills versus the Chiefs. How we feeling about this game, Vance? Crazy game, back and forth.
So for me, again, I picked the Bills. This was for me. This was if there was ever a time for Josh Allen to clutch up and do it, I thought this would be the time. You get him at home, which is where you've always wanted him. And the two most dreaded words in Buffalo Bills history came back to haunt him. Wide right again. Most haunting words in their history,
bro.
So back to what you were saying.
Super Bowl 25.
Yeah, 92. So what you were saying. So I said this on air, or I said this off air. We can kind of get into it now. But I think we need to take a deep look at the receiving core because Dino made a really good point, and I wrote it down here. Stephon Diggs complained in 2021 and 2020 that he wasn't getting the ball enough. He had 7 yards in 2021, one catch for 7 yards. And then before that, the year before that in the AFC title game, he was watching the Chiefs with confetti coming down, going to Super Bowl. Which now begs the question. We all saw the throw that made the rounds yesterday. Probably would have won Buffalo the game. They didn't need the kick if Diggs would have caught it. So Josh Allen throws a ball, 70 yards, it looks like with a flick of a wrist. Easy throw. It looked easy for him. Couldn't have put any better touch on it. Couldn't have made the throw any easier. Couldn't have made the throw any more perfect. And it just goes through Diggs' hands. Diggs is special. It goes through his hands. Like Diggs is a special receiver.
A special player, bro.
Yes. Nobody doubts that. What I'm saying is, to those listening, you can put down in the comments, does Diggs need to go? I know he's great, and I would never dispute that. But he put the ball in the perfect spot, perfect touch. He couldn't have placed it in your hands any better, let alone throw it 70 yards. He could not have thrown the ball any better. He just flat darted it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long throw. You're a short receiver. There's a DB on your back. So with a catch like that in the NFL, it's hard for a regular person like me and Vance. But Stephon Diggs, you're one of the best receivers in the league. And how you complain year in and year out, you better be making plays like this. And Josh Allen gave you a shot to almost put the game away. They would have been in field goal range right there. Better shot for Bass.
No, there was nothing but right, or you could have got a touchdown. That's a touchdown. There's nothing but green. Yeah, there was nothing but green in front of him. Nothing but green.
Nothing but green. If he doesn't go down, it's a touchdown. Y'all go up. Y'all had many chances in this game. We seen I think it was McCole Hardman, whoever came around the right, twisted up, fumble, touchback. Y'all get the ball back after a terrible fake kick to Hamlin. Y'all Hamlin, shout out to Hamlin coming back from an injury like that. Great to see him out there on the field, still running around. But as a coaching right there, you do not go for a play like that on your side of the field. And while Kansas City is going to score a touchdown either way, you got lucky that he didn't get in the end zone. So that's the first part. I feel like anytime y'all start going against Kansas City, you break down in ways. Y'all were going back and forth for most of this games, and then it comes down to the fourth quarter. It's time to win. We start seeing mistakes happen in the coaching. We start seeing mistakes happen with Stephon Diggs. He no-show. You're a complete no-show, and I can see this duo breaking up. We seen him leave the Vikings in a sort of bad way. I can see him leaving the Bills, even though he did a lot for the Bills. This is a great team. Just because you lose in the divisional, that doesn't make you a great team. You're one of the best teams in the league. But you keep going in and out of these games with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and losing it. 0-3 now. 0-3 to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. 3-3 in the regular season.
3-1.
3-1 in the regular season. And I seen out there where y'all could have took Patrick Mahomes. You let them go up and get Patrick Mahomes, and y'all went back and got Josh Allen. Things could have went differently if y'all could have took Mahomes in the draft. But you got Josh Allen. He's a great Hall of Fame type quarterback. No saying it. But he's looking like another upcoming of Kelly, Jim Kelly. We see him go 0-4 in the Super Bowl, but this is different. You're not even making the Super Bowl. You're not even making the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you a question here, Dino, because you, as someone who knows football the way you do, most times I defer to you. Do you think, I know what he did in 2021. Do you think if Gabe Davis plays, this game is different? I 100% believe so. Because the game in 2021, 100%. Gabe Davis caught 4 touchdowns. 4. He wasn't healthy yesterday.
And I was watching the game with Devin yesterday. I was watching the game with him, and I told him, I said, they are looking, if Gabe Davis is in this game, bro, I think this goes way differently. He scored. He's a matchup on the other side of Diggs where you can say if Diggs is getting shut down like he did in this game, we can go to Gabe Davis and he can make a big play. He's a big play. We know he can make a big play. Then you got James Cook on the ground. He was doing well in this game. Josh Allen, 2 rushing touchdowns. You know he can move it with his legs. You know what he can do with his legs. So he didn't have his receiver out there, but that didn't matter. We're not going to give him no excuses like that because Kansas City.
Yeah. No, I was saying that because with Kansas City, how he went off 2 years ago.
Yeah. And with Kansas City, we gave them all these type of problems, all these excuses. They was in sports media about how they can't catch the ball, they can't line up right, their receivers are not great how they used to be. This is Patrick Mahomes' second year without Tyreek Hill, and he might go to a Super Bowl once again. It's crazy. And him and Travis Kelce, they just passed Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady for the most touchdowns and combined together, I think 16 now, and Gronkowski and Tom Brady 15. That is an all-time great duo, and we're gonna see those 2 first ballot Hall of Famers.
5.5 years they did that. That's like, I may not be the biggest.
It's ridiculous.
I may not be the biggest Chiefs and Mahomes guy, but I can admit when greatness is happening, and we are witnessing right now our generation's Tom Brady.
And crazy stat. This is since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback of the Chiefs, their 6th AFC championship game, bro.
In a row.
Straight. Since he's been a quarterback, bro. That's insane. He's no Tom Brady, but records like that, and you doing this over and over again without a top main receiver. His top main receiver is Travis Kelce, the tight end, bro. And they can't figure out how they just found a way to win. And think about it. If it wasn't for a miss lineup, if it wasn't for Scantling dropping the ball in the back of the end zone in a couple games, their record would look totally different than what it is, and they'd probably be sitting at the top of the AFC, just like the Ravens. They'll probably be 2nd seed, but they'll be up there with the Ravens. And this is another thing, and I'm going to give it to Vance again. Don't put Taylor Swift in that box in Baltimore. It's something about them up in that box, and we see Jason Kelce. Let's see if we're going to get the photo up here. We see Jason Kelce up here. They turned up at the Bills Stadium. This is the Bills Stadium. They like this is look like a home crowd.
You would think looking at that they're in Kansas City. No, they're in Orchard Park, New York. They're
in Orchard Park. And Jason Kelce came out there. You know, he's all for the kids. Seen a couple videos out there with the kids and showing signs to Taylor Swift. He's drinking out with the Bills fans, Bills Mafia. They going crazy. I would be mad too, bro. I'll be throwing snowballs at Patrick Mahomes too. I'll be throwing snowballs at Chris Jones too. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes. He can't keep doing this to y'all. He can't keep doing it.
My thing is, Mahomes said it 2 years ago, and as much as I think he was sincere about it, I think it might be like this for a while. So if you remember 2 years ago,
say it again. I think 1 second here.
Yes. That shootout.
There we go.
Mahomes said in the post-game interview to Josh, said we're going to be doing this a lot. While I believe that to be true, Josh has to beat him.
They're going to be doing a lot, but you ain't going to be winning. Josh ain't going to be winning a lot.
I hope he does, because I think, like you mentioned, Josh Allen is a Hall of Fame talent. There's no question about it. Absolute Hall of Fame talent.
No doubt.
But if you want to do this a lot, you got to beat him at least once. You got to get over the hump.
Yeah, you got to get over the hump at least some point in time. And then the thing is, coming into this game, y'all were the favorite to me. I feel like y'all were the favorite. Y'all had things going at the back half of the season. Things started off slow, but you had the better second half of the season than the Chiefs. You had it going. And then you come in this game and you lose games like this. It hurts the Bills fans, because the Bills should have had the Super Bowl. They haven't won a Super Bowl, but through the years and decades after decades and curses after missed kicks and making it to the Super Bowl and not winning them and running in the pack. If Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are not a team right now, the Bills might have the same amount of Super Bowls as Patrick Mahomes does now. And that's a fact. But it just doesn't go like that.
And that's the hard truth, is that as much as I love Josh Allen, and I do, the thing that he does a lot, and I can't defend him on this. I honestly can't. And I defend the guy because he's my favorite and I love to watch him. The one thing I cannot defend, though, is he puts himself in those situations. I cannot defend that. Because although the Diggs throw was not his fault, he could not have thrown the ball any better. But he can only, what I mean by that is he can only throw it. He can't throw it and catch it. Diggs has to catch it.
Yeah, he can't.
He can't throw it and catch it.
Diggs has to give him help.
He can make the best throw on the planet, and he did. He made a ridiculous throw. He looked like he flicked his wrist. But Diggs has to catch it. Like, for sure. Josh, I feel like he puts himself in these situations and then wonders why he's losing.
It's a crazy thing, because sometimes you have these teams that are just your kryptonite. It is what it is. It's the same thing with the Cowboys. You see, the Green Bay had more playoff wins in the Cowboy Stadium than them. It's just that's the team they have problems with, no matter who the quarterback is. Yep. It's just like a division rival. And this rivalry, like Patrick Mahomes said, they're going to be doing it for a long time. We've seen it for a long time. We've seen a matchup like this, just like Tom Brady and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. We've seen a matchup like this, and Tom Brady dominating that matchup a little bit, but then Peyton Manning, he broke through a couple times and he got them Super Bowls. I'm expecting that out of the Josh Allen. His cap hit is going to be bad this coming off next season. Don't know how much they're going to move parts and see how much they can improve the team. $45 million is Josh Allen will be making next year. That's a big hit, man.
And but here's the thing. They know this as much as the next guy. Damn well worth it.
He damn well worth it. The top 2, top 3 quarterback in the league. I would take Josh Allen now if he was in front of me, against any of the rest of the quarterbacks. You got Lamar out there, a couple quarterbacks here and there, but I'm taking Josh Allen at second than Patrick Mahomes.
To piggyback off that, there's one team that wouldn't take a quarterback. There's probably 2 teams that wouldn't take a quarterback. Kansas City, Cincinnati. That's it.
Any
other team?
That's it. And Cincinnati has some sort of problem. Yeah. Cincinnati has some sort of problem with injuries and whatnot, but they'll be in the mix next year. They were almost got in the mix in the back half when Joe Burrow got in there, started to feel things going on, but then he got injured. But it imposes my question right here on the screen down below. Will the Bills ever make a Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes standing in the way? Can they ever get past the hump? Do you think they can get past the hump, Vance?
Not only so, I've said this. I've gone out on a limb when we did our radio show. I went out on a limb and I said, when it's all said and done, when Josh Allen's storybook career comes to an end, because I think that kid's ridiculous. When it's all said and done, wife, couple kids, whatever it is, I think I was originally going to say 2, but because he's getting older, I'll say 1. I think he can maybe get 2. I think he wins 2 and wins 2, I think 2 Super Bowls and 1 league MVP when it's all said and done. The kid is talented enough to do it. That's the thing I don't get. His talent and arm strength is ridiculous. There's just some disconnect somewhere. The kid is ridiculous.
When it's time to make key plays in the moments of the game, like the drop ball from Stephon Diggs, like the fake kick going for the first down and stuff like that, it's times where coaching becomes a problem, not making them the scapegoat. But the players on the field, sometimes they're not making plays. We seen Josh Allen one time. You remember Gabe Davis in the back of the end zone wide open on the left side, and you just can't complete that type of play
against the Eagles.
You gotta make a play like that. That's a play you gotta make. And then sometimes in certain situations, when it comes down to it, we know, referring to NBA, but even though we talk about football, Dame time. He in clutch situations, he will make that play. But in some players can't make that play, some players just can't make that play. And Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and his coaching staff just can't make the plays when necessary.
So that begs a question. Though. Does McDermott need to go? Because as great of a coach as he is, and he's a great coach, he's also a defensive.
He is a great coach.
Does he need to go? Because he's a defense. My thing is this. I've said this, and this is no slight. He has two rings. This is Mahomes' league. We're all just living in it. Mahomes, to me, was born on third base heading home. You get drafted. You inherit Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Josh Allen gets drafted with backing up Ryan Fitzpatrick, no Diggs early on. Gabe Davis is there, but he's not what he was originally. For me, Mahomes was born on third base heading home. Josh Allen was born on first base trying to steal three bases. For me, I look at it like, yes, McDermott's great, but do the Bills need an offensive coach to succeed? I personally think they do.
I would say that it's a Mike McCarthy situation. It's insanity type of situation. And we know what I'm about to say. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Definition of insanity.
It's insanity, dog. It's insanity, bro. Yep. And you keep bringing Stephon Diggs back. You keep bringing this Josh Allen, Gabe Davis type of offense back, and the coaching, style of coaching, everything's the same on Buffalo Bills. Nothing has changed. And yes, you're doing great. You're making AFC championships. You're making divisionals. You're beating your division and stuff like that. And you get in here and you lose. Cowboys, you get in the first round divisional and you lose. It's just over and over again. But you keep wanting to bring back Mike McCarthy. You keep wanting to bring back these high caliber, low caliber stars, and you're expecting to win. And you end up winning in the regular season against teams that you really should beat, going against low caliber teams under 500. Bills, they can beat anybody above 500, under 500. That doesn't oppose to them. But still, you get into the playoffs and you're not winning. You get to Chiefs and you don't win. So it's just like this. I would think about it. I would at least think about it, but something has to change. Something has to change.
So I think we both know. The thing we both know, 17 is not the problem here. Because I keep hearing things about trade Josh Allen. He's not the problem. As much as I like Steph,
whoever's saying trade Josh Allen, you're an idiot.
As much as I like Steph, I think as much as I like him, I think Steph needs to go. I really do.
Yeah.
I might get called nuts for that. I understand that that's a crazy thing to say. But this man was complaining for 2 years about how he didn't get the ball. Josh shows you the perfect ball to win the game, to send your team to the AFC Championship. And you, Stephon Diggs, dropped it. I think Josh could not have thrown it any better.
I think that writes it off right there. That game writes it off. That's it. You're 0-3 now. This is your third time here. You lost what? I think it's the 0-5 against Bengals and the Chiefs, but 5-0 against everybody else. Something like that.
My thing is, and Diggs complained. He had 8 targets yesterday, caught 2 balls. The biggest play of the game, Diggs, you complained about not getting the ball because you got 1 reception for 7 yards 2 years ago. You complained about not getting the ball. He throws you an absolute dot, and you It goes through
You
your
got
hands.
the ball.
It was an
You got the
absolute
ball.
dot. Yes. So like
You got the
I
ball,
like
bro,
Diggs.
and that was
He's
your
what Diggs.
chance. That was your chance, and that's it.
Diggs is so talented, and like again, there's a disconnect somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'm trying to find it. This team is too talented to be getting embarrassed like this. He cannot throw you a ball any better than that. He can't. Even if you place it in your hand, he couldn't do it any better. Like
he can't. He cannot do it any better than that. He cannot do it any better than that. And you, like Van said, and like we all know, you've been complaining year after year, hands on your helmet, watching the confetti drop. We seen the iconic photo, and you get the chance to go to it's about to go to the AFC Championship. You get that chance up top, you get a touchdown, and it might be over and done with. I don't know. You still got a minute or something left on the clock with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen what they can do in only 13 seconds. So it might still be a little time on the clock, but there's still a high chance that you get done right there. And heartbreaking for the Bills, heartbreaking for the
so
Bags.
that's my before we move on here. That's my before we go on. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Is I don't want to hear Diggs complain now because he gave you a shot and you didn't capitalize. He gave you the shot.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
He gave you a deep shot.
Yeah,
and you didn't catch it. That's on you.
That's on you. And another thing, Bass missed that field goal, but that was not the only point and y'all reason why y'all lost this game. Y'all just when it's time to make it work, y'all just don't make it work. Now, Detroit Lions, baby. Detroit Lions go into the NFC Championship and they will be versus your team in the 49ers. Going up, this will be a big matchup, Vance. I know you're ready for this matchup. Not the team you probably wanted easier. The Buccaneers probably would have been easier, a little easier, even though in this game was back and forth. Mike Evans going off in this game, a touchdown, 150 receiving. The guy's a dog. Baker Mayfield, I think he deserves a contract. What you think? I think he deserves a contract. I think Baker deserves a contract.
So I agree with that. Now, to touch on the Detroit point, we already beat Tampa this year, so do I want to play them again? No, we probably would have beat them again. Now, the only thing with Detroit that scares me is he's been a kind of a non-factor this playoffs is Aiden Hutchinson. But if he gets loose, he can cause havoc. Especially
he can cause havoc. I mean, in this game, he was kind of a little silent, but throughout the playoffs, I think he has 6 sacks, 6.5 sacks. He's here and there, but they didn't have to win in that way. I guess they pulled it off.
I think we both know, though, this is why the 49ers have the advantage. Because one guy I'm going to name who I think can neutralize him, Trent Williams. Probably going to neutralize him. He's the best left tackle in football. He's the highest paid left tackle for a reason.
That's the reason why you pay a left tackle the highest paid, just like you said. And I won't see Hutchinson making any type of play here soon in that game. I think this is a game versus the DBs. Purdy can throw us some interceptions. Jared Goff can throw some interceptions. He can have a bad streak. So whatever side of the DBs show up, that's going to be the defensive side. The D-lines you have the best D-line in the league. Chase Young, second overall pick. Nick Bosa, he went in second overall pick. When you got 2 second overall picks at defensive linemen, they better be getting back there and getting sacks on a guy like Jared Goff. So I'm expecting y'all to win this game. Jared Goff, high caliber quarterback. Yep. He silence the narrative, silence the doubters. That's it. After he left the Rams, yes, he was a bad quarterback with the Rams a little bit, but they did something with the Rams. They went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. Made a Super Bowl. They feel like they didn't believe in them. Moved on to Matthew Stafford. They win the Super Bowl, but Matthew Stafford is on the Lions now, and he has a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Now, where I look at this is, and I saw this narrative, it made me laugh because as much as it is true, it's funny to me. As much as it's true, it's funny. I want you to hear what I'm going to say. Brock Purdy is going to be going against, no matter how you slice it, either Baker or Goff. We know it's Goff now. Number 1 pick versus the last pick in the draft. And the last pick in the draft,
that is crazy.
Back-to-back years, back-to-back NFC Championship games. So this whole narrative of Brock Purdy
And
can't play in the league and he's surrounded by these guys, he can't win without CMC,
yeah,
and he can't win without Debo. He just did. So let's just put that to rest.
let's put that to rest. And that's another guy who is up for some money. Brock Purdy. He better be one of the. I would say he deserves it. Not he doesn't have the legs, he doesn't have some of the physique and stuff like that Josh Allen has, but that doesn't, as long as you win in games, it doesn't matter. And I think he should be the top 5 highest paid quarterback when his contract comes up, because he has won games in the playoffs, and if it wasn't for him going down against the Philadelphia Eagles, he might have been in the Super Bowl. So Brock Purdy, he deserves more than $800K. He's going to get a bag next offseason. A good extension for Brock Purdy. Yep. I got some stats for you right here.
Go ahead.
Last time the Lions were in the NFC Championship, Xbox and PlayStation wasn't even a Xbox and PlayStation didn't exist. The iPod didn't exist. Text messaging wasn't even a thing the last time the Lions made this.
Were phones even a thing?
I'm gonna go
like not phone like. That is not obviously phones were a thing, but like
Google wasn't invented. Amazon. The life looked very differently back in 19. What did you say?
91.
1991. Remember, their first time being here, their first time winning the division. Shout out to them. And I'm gonna go against you right here. We're gonna talk about the playoff bracket in just a second, but we can start early. I got the Detroit Lions beating the San Francisco 49ers, pulling this one off. Go against me right here, Vance. What do you think?
I think this all comes down to a man by the name of Deebo Samuel. He got hurt in the Green Bay game. He's cleared to play. He's cleared to play. First off. Secondly, to me, he's the most dangerous man in football with the ball in his hands. That man can make you miss so many ways. It's ridiculous.
He has to be cleared to play. You, as a football player, and you get hurt, because I know T.J. Watt, when he was hurt against the Bills, I know he was sick. In games like that, I want to be available. This is what we play for. This is what I played all year. This is what I work for in the offseason to be in a game like this. I think, honestly, he'll be a decoy. I honestly think he will be a decoy out there. I think he will have a low type game and receiving, but I think he takes away from some of the defensive schemes and stuff like that just by being out there. Because sometimes you can have a player just be out there. I remember in the playoffs with Jimmy Butler, he was hurt sitting in the corner one time, and by him just being out there, the defense still going to shift to Jimmy Butler. So I think Deebo Samuel's still going to be out there, but I think he's going to be put out there as a decoy.
I really don't, because again, he's had the same shoulder injury. But if you have a talent like that, why put him on a decoy? You know how talented he is. You know that the team need but
you have a lot of talent. Deebo
Samuel's explosive. That's why.
Yeah. He's explosive. He has a lot of talent in him, but you have other talent too. You still got Ayuk, you still got Christian McCaffrey, you still got George Kittle. So it can take away from some pressure on Deebo Samuel. I don't think he gets the snaps like he was when he's healthy.
What you said right there is why I think the game will be hard for Detroit, because you're going to have guys like that. Maybe Deebo breaks free for one. What you just said might go against you because what you just said might go against you. Maybe because
it could. It's a prediction. It's a prediction.
Yeah, because if Deebo's hurt, they think, well, he's not going to be a factor. And maybe he breaks 30 yards on the field and Purdy hits him in stride. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Y'all got the team. Yeah, it can go a lot of different ways. Y'all are definitely favored in this game. But like I said, you did 1991. The life has changed. Money has changed. You could probably get a Big Mac, 6-piece nugget, and two large fries with 10 cents. Last time the Detroit Lions were in the NFC Championship, or they never been. They never been. So This is the chance for y'all to make history, be the first team to win Detroit a Super Bowl. You see how they came out. Eminem showed out. All the Detroit people showed out in their last game at home game in the NFL playoffs on in San Francisco. You got a tough matchup, but if you win this matchup, you gotta versus either the Ravens or Kansas City. I don't think they beat them. San Francisco, I think they have more of a chance of beating the San Francisco and the Ravens. I mean the Ravens and Kansas City, but I still got Jared Goff in this one. I think that'll be a better matchup.
Here's another interesting thing. So I look at this, and it's weird, but I think it's not. I don't think it's that far fetched. You're coming to San Francisco, so the weather hopefully is nice. The one thing that I don't think it affects Detroit like it affects other teams is that the hostile environment we always talk about. Detroit getting here is a good season. Detroit making the NFC Championship game, that's a success in itself. Like that in and of itself is a success. Like as a true football fan, what I love to see, and even though my team wouldn't have in this situation wouldn't have won, as a true football fan, what would I love to see? Detroit versus Buffalo, a first-time Super Bowl champion. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome because, like I said, I honestly badly like I was a Bills fan yesterday. I was a Bills fan. I do not want to see Kansas City again, dog. I'm so tired of Kansas City. I'm so tired of them. I just don't want a Tom Brady Patriots type team. Dude, and seeing the dynasties over and over again.
Do you think? Okay, now I want to ask you a question because we've talked about both sides. Well, we've talked about one side, but I want to ask you about this before we go to Baltimore, Kansas City. Who do you think gets a ring first, Buffalo or Detroit?
Man, that's a difficult question, and I think I would say Buffalo. I would say Buffalo. Hopefully, I don't say that with great intent, saying Buffalo at all. I don't say it with great intent because as that man 15 is staying in front of Buffalo, it just seems like that won't ever happen. But sometimes breakthroughs happen, and maybe he can experience a breakthrough and they get a Super Bowl before the Detroit Lions because I didn't see a season like this coming out of the Detroit Lions where they're making the NFC Championship. I just didn't see it. I'm sorry, I just didn't see it. After having these bad seasons, Jared Goff, I didn't think he was that good of a quarterback. I just didn't think. That's just me. He made a Super Bowl better than the quarterbacks I didn't had in the past couple of seasons. I would say that, but I just didn't think he was that great. So it's not like this is a fluke. They didn't win these playoff games. They didn't got to the NFC Championship, and I think they can give y'all a run for their money. So who knows? Maybe the Lions can win the Super Bowl, but I think the Bills will win one before them. What do you think?
I think the Bills as well, although I do think Detroit's in a better spot because of the offensive mind at the head coaching position, because I do think that's more important than ever before. So if I had to pick one, just talent alone, I would go better quarterback, Josh Allen. But I think as much as I want to say Buffalo, Detroit just seems to me like the better, like Dan Campbell fits there, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Great coach. He could be coach of the year too, Dan Campbell. D'Amico, I think he gets it, but it's a lot of coaches out here that could get coach of the year, and he could be a candidate for that. And luckily, the Lions ain't move on from Dan Campbell after that. Like I said, they moved on from Matt Patricia. He was terrible. And then Dan Campbell, he came in, he was doing somewhat bad. You see how NFL moved on from head coaches and stuff really fast. Who knows? But we're going to go over to the AFC. We're going to go over to the AFC real quick. Talk about who's going to win against Kansas City and the Baltimore Ravens. Looking at the playoff bracket right here. And I'm going to let you start off and pick. I'll pick the one Lions last time to start off. What do you think about the Ravens and Kansas City? Who you got?
I say, why change now? I've picked Baltimore the whole year. I'm not going to change that. I think we play Baltimore in the Super Bowl. I honestly do. That's my belief. I think that's the Super Bowl matchup.
That's the team I want to win. I want the Baltimore to win. I feel like they've been in this type of situation like the Bills and making the playoffs and then kind of flailing off and not playing well when it gets into the playoffs and it's time to win. But now they come into the playoffs, they get that dub over the Texans, big win 34-10. They come in this game against Kansas City, not saying Kansas City won't make it tough. You don't count out a Patrick Mahomes. I'm never counting him out. That's like Tom Brady. Don't ever count him out saying he won't win this game. But you cannot do what you did in the first half with the Houston Texans, what you doing it with the Kansas City Chiefs. That won't happen. You end up losing that game. You end up losing that game, starting off slow, struggling. You can't do that. You can't do that. Off the rip, y'all need to get the ball first. Y'all need to score first, and y'all need to set the tone to start against Kansas City. You got to go out and beat this team. You can't be sitting back saying, I'm going to defer it. We're going to go on defense. We're going to see how they're going to play first. No, you need to play first. You need to come out first, running the ball with Lamar Jackson. You get it, Gus the Bus involved. Dalvin Cook had a good couple carries in the back half of that game against the Texans. He could be a good star in that game. Get your wide receivers involved. I didn't like how they were using OBJ last week, even though they won that big game. Get OBJ more involved. This is what you spend $20 million for, almost $20 million for on a wide receiver to get you catches, touchdowns, and win you games like he did with the LA Rams. I think that's where you go in that game.
I look at this like this. For the Niners, if they win, either way, it doesn't matter who we play, even though I'm going with Baltimore. I think either way is a revenge game because 2013 in New Orleans Superdome, we lost to Baltimore. 2020, we lost to Kansas City up 10 in the fourth quarter. Like, I want to beat both of these teams, so I wish we could play both of them, but we can't. If we win this game, which I hope we do, and I think we will, I want to just destroy because we haven't won a ring since
you want these games because y'all got history. Y'all got history between these teams. You got history.
Both of them have beaten us.
So it's time for y'all to come in and win. You gotta come in and win. You gotta take over. You gotta be hungry and you gotta go after it. Because if you don't go after it, we know 15 will go after it. He'll find a way to win. Travis Kelce found a way to win. And while Taylor Swift in that press box, you know what he's playing for. You got a female out there watching you like that, especially an icon like that, and Taylor Swift watching you. You gonna ball out in any type of way, in any type of form.
I think it's funny because
that stamina gets you. You know what I'm saying? That might keep coming out. It's all right. Hold on, let me unmute you. I got you. Your mic's still acting pretty weird, but it's all right.
I think it's interesting because I didn't actually, and this is off topic. You mentioned Taylor Swift. I didn't know this till recently. And I actually just found this out yesterday from a friend of mine. I didn't know this. And it's kind of a pop culture thing. And I don't much care, but I just know about it now. Did you know that Taylor Swift's best friend is actually dating Josh Allen? So there's that was kind of like the Taylor Swift game in some way. Taylor Swift's best friend is dating
is it Josh Allen? He's dating that girl from that Marvel movie little show, that the bow and arrow.
Hawkeye?
I forget what her name is. Yeah, Hawkeye. She got like a
Steinfeld,
dating
I was like, that's funny because Taylor Swift's I'm like, that's pretty. But I mean, if we're going back to football, for me, I look at it like I want revenge on these teams because we've been in 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, lost them both, and I want to get us over that hump of I want a ring. We got the court. The excuse we had forever was the quarterback wasn't good enough. I've heard that forever. I feel like we've got that solved now. And the last time we were there, both Debo and George Kittle said, we're going to get back here and we're going to win one. Their conviction is insane. And it hurts when you lose a Super Bowl. I mean, I've experienced it twice. It hurts. And I'm a fan. I don't
especially being up 10 to them, especially being up in the Super Bowl, thinking you got the bag secured, and the bag is fumbled. The bag is fumbled. Like I said, hit that link in the description in the Discord. Join the Discord. Join the chat. Join we react to breaking news is in there in the community. You got to get my boy Vance in the Discord. But starting a community full of people think sports. We're gonna react to this breaking news and stuff like that, or react to game by play, or what's going on during the game, and you want to talk about it with your community. I think that's a pretty fun thing. Hit that Discord button. We loving these sports. We got AFC Championship coming up, NFC Championship coming up. Before we leave here, didn't get to talk about it. Harbaugh, second interview with the Chargers. What are we thinking about that? Bill Belichick, second interview. I haven't seen these type of things with second interviews, but Harbaugh's back in the Chargers talking to him. I think that's the team he needs to go to.
I agree. So the Chargers, like I've said, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, they have the best situation. Quarterback, stud. You got the running back, Austin Eckler. You've got Mike Williams and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. You've got the receivers. Like, all they need is a good head coach. They've got all the pieces.
Yeah,
they have
everything. You got all the pieces. This is the two main things: coaching and staying healthy. You guys got to stay healthy for the head coach, or it's no point. It's not like Stanley had all of his guys every year. Austin Eckler missed some time. Mike Williams, he missed all season. Keenan Allen ain't been that healthy last couple seasons, even though this season he came back in shape. But last season, yeah. So it's like Herbert breaking his finger. So stay healthy for Jim if he comes in there. It looks like that's the team. That's the team he's going to, and that's the team he's going to coach. I would like him to coach my team in Washington. Hopefully they get an interview in Washington. Raiders, they sealed up their head coaching spot. Falcons, they need a spot.
I look at the situation with Harbaugh like this. Yes, I'm an Ohio State fan, but he achieved everything he needs to do at Michigan. He just won a national championship. What more does he need to do? Like, honestly, if you have to think about it, what more does he need to do? He won a national championship. He's made a Super Bowl. He hasn't won it. He's made one. What more does this man need to do?
Yeah. Now he needs a Super Bowl. I think he wants to accomplish the Super Bowl. Jim and John, one of the best related NFL community people out there. You know, you got players that are brothers: Joey, Nick, JJ, TJ. You got all these guys, their brothers, Stephon, and Trayvon. You got all these guys. Yeah. So you got all these players, but now we look at head coach brothers, and this is the greatest two head coach brothers I've ever seen. I think they're the only brothers. I don't know if there's any brothers in history who've done this head coaching thing like they've done it. Dad getting one for his he got a national championship, brother getting a Super Bowl, and now Jim getting a national championship, and now he wants to go the step further and coach a team and maybe getting the Chargers to a Super Bowl, and maybe we can see something like that. Jim is a great coach, and like I said, there's a lot of openings out there, but 2 interviews with the Chargers, it feels like it's a sealed deal. I feel like it's a sealed deal, but
I agree. And then
NFL,
Falcons one, I think that's just a matter of time. I think that one's more. I think that'll happen sooner than the Harbaugh deal. I think they got to sort some stuff out. I think Bill Belichick to the Falcons is a done deal. What about you?
Yeah, Bill Belichick to the Falcons. I think in 2 interviews. You're doing 2 interviews. It has to look like a done deal. Maybe he doesn't want to go to the Falcons, but they got talent over there. They just need a quarterback. Russell Wilson we know he's going to get cut. He could be available. Teams like the Steelers should be going after him. Teams like the Falcons. I think if Russell Wilson gets a head coach like that, I think he changes things around. I think things get changed around. But we like these AFC Championship coming up, NFC Championship coming up. We'll see if Vance's team moves on. Bit of shockingness in the last game going up against Green Bay. Little shaky there, but they pulled through, got to the NFC Championship. Will the Lions make their first Super Bowl ever? Will they win the Super Bowl and win their first championship ever? I know Detroit, they're going to be going crazy out there. Then we got Baltimore. They up from me. Maybe I'll go out there, do some Q&As out there. Check the Q&As in the YouTube. Check the short clips. Check me and Vance's stream out. And I love you guys if you watch this video. I thank y'all. God bless, baby.